What is up, everybody? This is what me and Kylie are calling a soft launch of the new Wednesday night show that we are doing every week throughout the season, where we recap the previous game, cover highlights of all the big picture Chiefs news, and then we preview the next game, which there was no prior game, so we're not talking about that. But we are going to talk about Chris Jones handing out or being a part of this in some loose fashion. I think it has something to do with the flag and Ronald McDonald House. We're going to talk about Nick Bosa getting his deal. We're going to talk about Chiefs versus Lions, Travis Kelce's injury, and all kinds of other stuff. But first, how about the Chiefs? Hey, we made it through our first official intro. What up, Kylie?
What's up? This is so exciting. I'm so excited to be doing this with you on Wednesdays. It's going to be a really fun time, and we've got a lot in store. And like, the season is here, and I feel like it's been years since we won the Super Bowl, but it really has just been a few months, and we're right back at it. This is awesome.
Heck yeah. So much to talk. There's actually kind of like a lot that happened today. Some like minor stuff that's not like that important on the grand scheme of life. But it's funny, like Chiefs news stuff, so I can't wait to talk about that. Just so you guys know, me and Kylie, we're still figuring out the exact flow, but the show's going to be about an hour, maybe an hour and 10 minutes, where we'll go over previous game, big picture Chiefs news of the week. We'll, like right now, here in a minute, I'm going to pull up the injury report and look at that. There's only one person questionable, and everybody knows who that is. We'll preview the game at the end, and then we will answer some questions. So we will answer questions from you guys, and we'll try to stack some of those up near the end. Smooth with the 20, Cole. Who's the lady? She looks nice. That's Kylie. Everybody say hi.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah,
so happy to be here.
Kylie's been on the stream a few times. Twice you were here in studio.
In studio, we did one, I think, almost a year ago or so, towards the beginning of the season, where that we had like first met. And then, the studio twice or so. So this is becoming a normal thing, which is cool.
Heck yeah. And for the people who don't know who you are, do you want to share just a little bit about you? Because you will be here every week for a while. So share, I mean, I know you were born in the KC area. You've been a Chiefs fan for a long, long time. So whatever you want to share about that and your Chiefs fandom over the years, would love to hear it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So born and raised in Kansas City. I'm actually from Raymore, South Side. Moved away. I actually currently live in Springfield, so just south, but family's still there. So still always getting back, and I've obviously going to games, and my fandom for Kansas City traveled with me. So just always been a fan, was a really big fan growing up in the 90s. My mom and my grandparents, and it just kind of came with the territory. So really, really haven't missed a season, haven't missed a game, and even like the 2-14 seasons that was rough. The Romeo Cornell days, those were rough. So went through all the bad times to get to these amazing good times that we are now in, and it's just enjoying every little bit of it. It's really, you can't take it for granted, because this is such a rarity to have such an amazing QB and an amazing head coach, and to have them work so well together. And then, of course, all of the wonderful pieces around them. I mean, it's just, you really can't take it for granted. These are truly the golden years of Chiefs football. So let's do it. I'm ready for another season.
Go get it.
Heck yeah, let's go. Yeah, people are asking in chat, Springfield, Missouri. Yes, Springfield, Missouri, roughly, what is that, like 2 hours outside of Kansas City, maybe?
Yeah, it's about 2.5 hours south of like downtown KC. So depending on where you're coming from. But it's nice. We got like lakes and rivers and hiking and a lot of outdoor stuff. So I like it. It's good. I went to school down here, and then,
okay,
I just never made it back.
There we go. You stayed just far away enough from Kansas City where you may not feel like you're in KC, but it's still just a quick drive back. So anytime you want to come back, I know you go to games and you're doing stuff all the time in Kansas City with your fam and stuff like that. So heck yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice because, like you said, it's not like too far away. I can still make it back and see family and do what I need to do, but it's still a little far away. When I was in college, getting away from the parents was always like, oh, but no, now that I'm still out and down here, it's nice to be close. So
you're married, you have a cat and a dog, right?
I got to correct you. I have two cats and a
Oh,
dog.
two cats.
One of them would have been very upset if they thought we were leaving them out.
My bad, my bad.
Because, I
Kylie
talked to
Winfrey,
them.
yeah,
And
Hannah.
I let them know. Yeah, Kylie Winfrey. Yep, been married. It'll be a year in October. So we're getting ready to celebrate our anniversary. And we have two cats, a dog, and we actually live a little bit outside of Springfield. So we live a little bit in the country. But yeah, love every minute of it.
Let's go. Well, this is Kylie, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not giving my story because you guys literally hear me every day, all the time. So we don't need to go there, but I wanted you guys to get to know Kylie a little bit. What's your dog's name again? Your husband's name's Nick. What's your dog's name? Because you have him a lot, in photos with you guys.
Yes, my dog's name is Kimba. I don't know if we have any basketball fans in the chat, but he's named after Kimba Walker, who was super big. I think he was with UConn back when they won a championship, and that's my dog is 12 years old, so I've had him since he was a puppy. Yeah, we've been through a lot together.
He's like Travis Kelce in the league years.
Exactly, and honestly, he still catches like Travis Kelce. We play fetch with him, and he's out there catching everything, and you should see the routes he runs. I mean, he's really incredible.
You said Kimba, and I don't watch basketball, and I was literally like Killer Simba. I was like, I don't know. We're going with Killer Simba. But speaking of Travis Kelce, we just brought it up. Let's get into this. Yesterday, was it yesterday? All the days blend. I'm pretty sure it was yesterday. Travis Kelce left practice early, limped off the field, per the words of Sky Moore. But it all started when Andy Reid stepped up to the podium at the presser, and he literally said, "Hey, how's it going?" Basically, Travis Kelce hyperextended his knee. I'm open for questions. And everyone was like, did you just say Travis Kelce hyperextended his knee? And yeah, what was your initial thoughts when you heard about that? And where are you currently at mindset-wise now that about 24 hours, 27, 28 hours has passed?
Obviously, initial thought was worst case scenario. I was thinking, oh my gosh, this can't be happening 2 days before. We've got a lot of Chris Jones drama going on. We don't need another star player out. This is the worst. But once you find out, okay, it's not as bad as we think. The MRI came back, no torn ligaments, nothing like that. A little bit of swelling. He's day-to-day questionable. Obviously, it eases my emotions a little bit, but for a while, I was at work when I found out, and the people around me and in the office, they can always tell when something Chiefs related has gone down because I'll just get quiet or I'll just get up and walk away. So they kind of sense something was going on. I have to just kind of shake it off. But I think knowing what we know now, I'm feeling a lot better. How do you feel about it?
I don't want to talk about it. Just kidding. I don't know. Less than ideal. Mainly because of other players like Aminihu suspended, Chris Jones hanging out, giving pressers today, a brief one for his charity event with I'm going to butcher it. Is it the Ronald? What is the name of the charity?
It's the Ronald McDonald
House. What the freak is it? I know they do good stuff. They put a lot of money into it, but he was there doing some stuff with them, and when everybody was talking about, Chiefs beat reporters were there asking him questions. But going back to Kelce, yeah, it's less than ideal. Mahomes is going to have to work, and Noah Gray, Blake Bell going to have to step up. I'm assuming they call up maybe Matt Bushman from the practice squad. The wide receivers are going to have to step up. Mahomes has plenty of options. He's got Jerick McKinnon. He's got Pacheco, and then obviously all the receivers. And Kadarius Toney wasn't listed as questionable or anything like that on the injury report, which we're about to get into. But I'm feeling a little bit better at this point in time about Travis Kelce, knowing it's not major. So my first reaction was, oh my God, how long is he out for? Talked with Dr. Jesse of the fantasy doctors, and they think basically he's more than likely missing tomorrow. He's still dealing with knee swelling. I know some people in chat are even saying, well, he could suit up tomorrow and just play on a limited snap count. I don't see any reason why they need to do that. It's a long season, 17 games. the Chiefs are going to make another postseason run. Like, let's get Kelce healthy and not risk re-aggravating anything further, especially if there's some reports out there. I couldn't confirm it last night, but some are saying, well, it's his left knee that he hyperextended, and that was the knee he had surgery on his rookie year and missed all of 2013. Since then, you might know this, but he's basically never missed a game due to injury ever since coming back. He missed one game on the COVID list, and he was a healthy scratch 2 other games due to the Chiefs just whooping everybody and being their father. But outside of that, this is the first game he's more than likely going to miss. I mean, he's questionable, so he's not completely out of the picture yet. I'll pull up the injury report now. And if there's some super chats and stuff that come in, guys, I will flag those and we'll answer some of those at the end. But I want to keep things going right now. If I do this, what happens? Nice. Okay, so the injury report dropped today. It's kind of the final one before tomorrow night's game. And some positives, I was a little worried. Richie James was a limited participant on Monday with his knee listed, and that was new. I was like, what the freak is that? Everybody's knee. Knee. However,
I got a knee. I'll give someone a knee.
Yeah, you can take my right one. My left one is not good.
Right.
However, he was a full participant Tuesday, Wednesday, so that looks good. Snead, good news here. I'm just now seeing this for the first time. He was a full participant today after being limited Monday, Tuesday. Kadarius Toney, full participant. Turk Wharton was limited Monday, but fully participated Tuesday, Wednesday. Nick Allegretti was a full participant all week. Nick Jones, I was a little surprised here because he fractured his a couple fingers. Fractured a couple fingers, and I'm a little surprised he's back and fully participating. So I don't know if that was a surprise to you. And then we do have to talk about something pretty important here that is still actually an issue. As you can see here, BJ Thompson, are you seeing this? We talked about this last night, but it's still here. BJ Thompson's injury is he hurt his BJ Thompson. We don't know what to make of that. I shared it on Twitter. I shared about it earlier today. I know I kind of post a lot. Okay, yeah. So BJ Thompson injured his BJ Thompson. I don't think that's a good thing to injure your BJ Thompson. I mean, it just sounds not good.
No, that's his whole self.
Even though he injured his BJ Thompson, he was a full participant all week and should be good to go. With the only questionable player being Travis Kelce, obviously left early, hyperextending his knee, didn't participate yesterday. The only player listed is questionable. How does this injury report make you feel? Any takeaways from it, especially given some of these guys being a full participant on Wednesday, like L'Jarius Sneed, Kadarius Toney, etc.?
Well, I think given the new Travis Kelce news, it's really, really great to see Toney as a full participant in practice because we're obviously going to need another weapon, a reliable weapon. L'Jarius Sneed, he is the best cornerback we have on the team, so we need someone who's going to be able to travel with the wide receiver, and Snead has proven that he's got that trust from Spag, so definitely excited to see him back. I was very concerned about him. You know, he didn't practice at all during training camp. It was just he's still not practicing, very vague as far as what was actually going on with the knee swelling. So happy to see him back. Travis Kelce, I feel like, when you were saying he's only missed one game, and the other 2 were a healthy scratch because the Chiefs were just annihilating people. I feel like he's going to have a really difficult time sitting out. Like, even if the coaches are like, you can't play, like, we're not going to let you play. I feel like there's going to be a little fight in him because he doesn't miss games. That he's going to want to get back out there. But kind of what you were saying earlier, I don't know that we need him. It's a really long season. We obviously need him, but I don't know that we need to rush him back into the game tomorrow. I think we have plenty of other weapons. It's a great opportunity to kind of see what some of these other young guys can do. And I think it'll be interesting to see tomorrow if they bring up Bushman. And I think that'll be a tall tale of if Kelce is playing or not.
I wouldn't even be surprised. Actually, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I think you can call somebody up from the practice squad and they can still be inactive. So I'm almost positive. So I wouldn't be surprised if they actually called Matt Bushman up, but he was still inactive. We'll see, though. But, yeah, I agree. The Chiefs need Travis Kelce. He is the second most important player, not only on the offense, I might argue the entire team. Unless you want to go, Patrick Mahomes 1A, Andy Reid 1B, Travis Kelce 2, Chris Jones 3. So however you want to label it, 2 of the 3 most important players on this team are not playing. Chris Jones, more than likely, not playing, even though we'll get there, but he said he could play tomorrow if he gets a deal done. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw it.
But yeah, I think they'll need to protect Kelce, and we'll just see. As far as the Lions go, Emmanuel Mosley, he actually got ruled out. With the other 3 being Isaiah Buggs, good luck saying that last freaking name, and then Frank Ragnow. He was a full participant today after resting on Tuesday. He's their center. Those guys should all be good except Isaiah Buggs, their defensive tackle. He said that he's going to get benched. He's going to get benched and not play. So there's something going on behind the scenes there. But the story is kind of the Chiefs injury report, to be honest. And yeah, I'm excited. I'll say this. I'm excited to see that Tony was a full participant, Snead as well. So they're going to play. The question is, how much do they both play? Are they on snap counts? We'll see. I would imagine Tony is. I would be pretty surprised if they just throw him out there in I would be surprised if he plays, majority of the offensive snaps or anything like that.
He'll be extremely limited, would be my guess.
Yeah, same.
Snead, on the other hand, without the defense, without the D-line, without Chris Jones on the D-line, I think we really need guys who can hang with their receivers. And just because there's going to be a little lack of pressure, we'll say, getting to Goff, so he'll have the ball a little bit longer. So these receivers are going to be able to extend the play a little bit more. So we really need Snead in there so that he can really stick to his man. So I think we see a little bit more from him than we do from Tony. At least I hope so.
I agree. Do you know who former NFL linebacker Will Compton is? Bussin' with the Boys podcast. You see his recent prediction?
What is it?
He predicted the Raiders to win the West. He said the Chiefs' reign is over. The Raiders are winning the West. He basically said Mahomes can only keep getting away with carrying the team for so long. Travis Kelce's hurt. Chris Jones is not there. So the defense is already going to be abysmal. And therefore, Jimmy G and the Raiders are going to get it done. You agree?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And what I think is funny is I obviously think that the Chiefs are going to win the West. I think they're going to go back and win the Super Bowl. But what I think is funny is he automatically went to the Raiders as if the Chargers wouldn't be the second biggest threat in the division over the Raiders. Are we kidding? That dumpster fire of an organization. Their coach is ridiculous. The best thing about the Raiders is Max Crosby. And, if you want to talk about a one-man team, Devontae, but he's unhappy. So it is going to be interesting to see how that all unfolds as the season progresses. But, I don't agree with them. No, the Chiefs are – I think it's easy to say, well, Patrick Mahomes is a one-man team, and we always like to lean on Patrick. Oh, we have Patrick Mahomes. But we also have Andy Reid, who is a generational coach. And we've got Isaiah Pacheco. We've got Tony, who's back, who I think is going to do really big things. And then I think if you want to look to the defense, we have a really strong young defensive back core that I think can do some big things. And I think our linebacking core is one of the best in the league between, Willie Gay, Nick Bolton, Leo Chenal. I don't think it's fair to say that it's just on Patrick Mahomes.
And don't forget Drew.
Drew Tranquill.
Safety. Drew Tranquill. He might be the pickup of the offseason, in my opinion. So
I think
let me go back real quick to this Will Compton thing. I actually responded to that post. I responded to that post last night of him predicting the Raiders are going to win the West. And it was posted by an aggregate account or whatever. I didn't tag him, but I said, my 7-year-old daughter has a higher IQ than Will Compton. And he actually responded saying, no, she doesn't. And I think she does. I'm not going to lie. I really think she does. Anyway, I actually found it really hilarious that he rolled with the punches on that and responded. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Something else that was hilarious, Kylie. I don't know if you saw this, but it was recently revealed by Chris Jones in some documentary that I don't really know about, but it was posted by Charles Goldman, and he's good people. He said that he actually revealed what Chris Jones said to Matt Ryan in that Colts game when he got that personal foul.
What was it? Say it. Say it.
I'll share the screen. But he said, "Get your old ass up." However, I don't think that is personal foul. Oh, my bad. Wrong button. I don't think that is personal foul-able. I don't think that's enough. So I actually reached out to Charles Goldman and said, that's all he said? And he said, well, he did say that he left a part out, which they bleeped out. So maybe they called him, maybe he dropped an F word in there. I just don't really know. I'm like, what on earth did he say? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it was something around those lines, unless Chris Jones was completely trolling. But I think that's hilarious because Matt Ryan is like 57 years old in NFL years.
Right. I think it's really great to know, like, after all this time that we finally uncovered what he said, and it's that, because it's only speaking facts. I mean, he is old and he did need to get up. So really that shouldn't have caused a penalty. That's really funny though. I actually really love that. And Matt Ryan's no longer playing now, right? So
he's like an analyst. He didn't formally retire. But it is what it is. Speaking of Chris Jones, we had another defensive lineman get a big deal done today. Nick Bosa, after holding out this whole time, finally got his deal done. Thank you, Thunder. Yeah, we're going to talk about that today. He said, Cole, did you see Bosa signed for 5 years, $170 million, $122.5 guaranteed. Sean, I'll get to yours here in a bit too, man. I see you guys up there. Let me go to here. Yep. Highest paid. Is he the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL now? Highest paid defensive player in NFL history. Oh, Kylie, where are you at? Click the wrong one. There you are. My bad. She's here.
I mean, I'm here.
5-year, $170 million extension, $122.5 million guaranteed, which is an average of $34 million per year. I really want to see the contract details and see if there's some foo-foo money at the end of that contract. But when you saw this, what are your thoughts on, does this do anything for Chris Jones at all, good or bad? I will give the couple caveats. I understand Nick Bosa is a defensive end. Chris Jones is a defensive tackle. Bosa is 25. Chris Jones, 29. Bosa is the reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He was 4th overall in the top 100 players of 2023. He had 15 sacks, 15 and a half sacks in 21, 18 and a half in 22. I don't think it's apples to apples, but I'm just curious when you see this, if you think it's going to do anything to help or hinder Chris Jones, or you think probably not.
I don't think it hurts or helps him, to be completely honest. I mean, all the reasons you just said. He's much younger. He is more consistently productive. He, like you said, he had 18 sacks last year, 15 sacks the year before. I think in 2020 he was hurt, but then his rookie season he came out and he had 9 sacks. So the guy is consistent, and not only is he consistent, but he came off of an ACL tear and an ACL injury and still was able to put up those numbers. So I just think, like, credit to Bosa, because he deserved to get paid every last dollar that he's getting paid. I'm glad that they were able to work something out, but they're different positions and they're different ages, and the production is different. Like, Chris Jones had a great season last year. He had 15 sacks. I think it was his best season since 2018, but he's not as consistent now. I should say. That doesn't mean I don't think that we need to pay Chris Jones and get him back on the field and get him back on the team. I just think that when you're looking at consistency, that's going to play a big factor. And then, of course, his age. His age is, I mean, he's going to be 30 next year. And Nick Bosa, in May. And Nick Bosa is 24, 25?
25, yep.
25. Yeah. I just don't see how, I don't know how they're going to leverage this contract to make his case for Chris Jones. And He's already trying to be the highest paid defensive tackle, which would put him at 32 million. And again, I wish we knew the further details about Nick Bosa, but I just don't know how it's going to, I don't think it's going to hurt him, but I certainly don't think it's going to help.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean, if anything, it might, in Chris Jones's head, he might say, well, look, he's averaging 34 million a year. I want 32. I don't know if he really wants 32, but the reports are he wants around Aaron Donald money. But the Chiefs are offering a little bit less than that. You know, I don't know if Chris Jones and the Katz brothers will try to use that as like, see, what we're asking for is not too crazy considering the deal that just happened. It might be too little too late. Chiefs offered their final deal that they're comfortable with. We'll see if they budge a little bit here, but, you know, I think the Chiefs offered their deal, and we are where we are. Now, he spoke to the media today before his charity event. Did you catch any of that? Do you have any takeaways?
Yeah, I saw it. I thought it was an interesting. I thought it was an interesting move speaking to the media. We haven't really heard from him speaking to the. We've heard from him on social media, on Twitter. We know we've seen his Instagram stories, but he hasn't actually got in front of a mic and spoken to anyone really. So to see him get up there after everything that's going on, and there's so much tension, it just felt weird and a little forced. And, you know, it's like, I'm not really, he says, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. I'm not really supposed to talk about that. What did you think they were going to ask you about? Like, they're not going to get up, as much as we know it's for charity. They're not going to get up and ask you about charity. They're going to ask you, Chris, why aren't you at practice? Are you going to sign a deal? Are you close on a deal? How do you feel this is affecting your teammates? How do you feel? Like, they're going to ask you all of the gigantic elephant questions that are in the room. So I just thought it was interesting that he even got up to speak and say something, thinking maybe that wasn't going to, the conversation wasn't going to deter that direction. So I think he said, one question was, do you feel like you're hurting your teammates? And he said, no, I don't, because, I've been in contact with my teammates. And I guess I disagree. I'm not in the locker room, so it's easier for me to say this as someone on the outside, but it feels like a lot of those rookies, those younger guys coming in could really benefit from working alongside of him during training camp, hearing what he has to say on the sidelines during the preseason games. And those are the things that they're not getting. So I guess in that sense, I do feel like it's hurting his teammates a little bit. But I also think that the coaching staff of the Chiefs is really honing in on what's happening in the locker room and less about what's happening outside and trying to just keep that contained. So that's what I got.
Yeah. This was a pre-planned event from a long time ago. I'm not sure how comfortable he was being there. It's his first time really speaking to the media since I don't even know when. I can't remember the last time. It's been a long time. It was a little bit interesting when he said, how am I hurting my teammates? I'm just asking for a raise. Well, and then he kind of compared, you kind of went into it, but he kind of compared it to like regular people jobs. He's like, if you ask for a raise from your employer, you're not being a distraction. I'm like, I understand what he's trying to say, but it's not really comparable. If my previous job before doing YouTube full time, if I would say, hey, I want this much money, and until I get that, I'm out. So I'm going on vacay. Like, what do you mean? That's not. No. I'm fired. They're giving me the axe. I'm out of there. So you can do that in the NFL though. So it's not an apples to apples comparison. I just felt like the comparison fell short. I don't want to talk about Chris Jones much longer unless you want to add onto it, because he's not playing in this game. And although there was some Chris Jones news today, I'm happy for what he was doing. I hope we see him next week. But there is a game to play coming up very soon, which is tomorrow night, season opener, week 1 against the Detroit Lions. Now, I'll give a little bit of just like initial thoughts, and then would love to hear your thoughts. Again, it's tomorrow night, Arrowhead. They're going to raise the banner. The Chiefs players don't care. They're focused. They don't want any distractions. The Chiefs, last time I checked, they were like 6.5-point favorites. I didn't check today. I don't know if that's moved much. I still would think going into Arrowhead, the Chiefs are going to be favored. They are the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions. What are your initial thoughts? I do have some like stats and rankings and a little bit of nerdy stuff talking about their additions and stuff like that. We can definitely get into there, but would love to hear just your initial thoughts on how you're feeling going into the game, and then we could talk a little bit of offense and defense and give a preview or prediction.
Yeah. So going into the game, I'm pretty optimistic that the Chiefs are going to get a win out of this. I think banner night. I think the excitement of being back at home, being back into the next season, and obviously the crowd at Arrowhead is just so electric that I'm not going to be at the game. If you're going to be at the game, make sure you cheer loud, because I know Dan Campbell said something about the defense or the Lions are going to try and quiet the Arrowhead crowd. Not going to happen. Not going to let that happen. So if you're there, make sure you cheer loud. But we got to get pressure. We're going to have to try and get pressure with 4. I think we're going to see some interesting things from Spags in regards to blitz packages, trying to get pressure on Goff. He's just a completely different quarterback when he's pressured. And we're going to have to really bring some of Spags' specialties with those packages. I think we're going to see a lot of linebacker play, a lot of linebacker blitzes. I think it's like I said earlier, it's really great to have Snead back in there. I think we're going to need him, especially when it comes to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Can never say his name. Yep. And then, of course, they've got Jahmyr Gibbs, their new rookie running back. So it'll be interesting. I don't think we really know what to expect with him, but that will be obviously a factor to their offense. So, and then our offense, I just kind of think speaks for itself. But I'll let you kind of dive in a little bit more.
Yeah. Since you talked offense of the Lions, let's stay there for a minute.
Let's do it.
A couple interesting things about the Lions. So they went on an 8-2 run at the end of last year. Their offense, let me look. I got a couple notes here. 5th highest scoring offense in the NFL. Believe that or not. They scored 54 touchdowns, which is 4th overall out of every NFL team. They have the 8th highest ranked O-line according to PFF. Take that for what you will. And Jared Goff last season, 6th overall in total passing yards. So this offense, it's high powered. Then, you've got Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had over 1,100 yards and 6 TDs, 25% or 25% of the total receiving output of the offense. So a big guy to watch. I'm like, whoever you want to put on that guy, the healthiest guy, I would say Snead, but if Snead's knee is not going to hold up, put McDuffie on there, like something. We need to blanket that man. And then Jahmyr Gibbs, like, he's a freak. 12th overall pick, round 1. Some people went like this when they drafted him that early. But he did lead Alabama in rushing yards and receptions in 2022. Very little tape on him other than that, but that guy is dangerous. Spags basically said in his presser, I told all my guys, if they see Jahmyr Gibbs out on the field, all eyes on him, meaning just don't lose him in the mix. Very important. I agree with you. To make up for no Minihue and no Chris Jones, Spags is going to go nuts. I think he's drooling over it, honestly. He's going to blitz safeties, corners, linebackers. He's going to have the water boy blitzing probably on some plays. So we already know that Spags is going to try to dial it up. I think a concern for me there is just with the Lions O-line being pretty decent. I think their center should play, even though he was on the injury report. I'm a little worried, just a tad, that the Lions are, if Jared Goff has a clean pocket, because what you said, when he's under pressure, he does struggle. But if he's got a clean pocket, he can sling it. He's not Mahomes. He's not elite, but I would say he's a good quarterback and had a good year last year. So, that's what I'm going to be watching. I do want to take a look at Snead and see how he does. And just a lot of the second-year guys. There's so many second-year guys. Justin Reed is a second-year guy, even though it's not second year in the league, but second year with the Chiefs. Then you've got all the corners. Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, Trent McDuffie. You've got Leo Chanel, year 2, Karlaftis, year 2. So I'm excited about Karlaftis. I will say that. I don't want to disrespect the D-line completely. Would love any thoughts you have on the D-line. But George Karlaftis going into year 2, he was on a high note last year. He finished on a high note. Then you have FAU, Felix Anudike-Uzomah, first-round pick this year. I think they're going to work him in. You have Turk Wharton on the injury report. He's coming back. You have Mike Dana. You've got pieces. The key is, can Spags and company outcoach the Lions and make adjustments quicker? And can the guys get home when he sends them? Because if he's going to blitz like hell, which he's going to just do it, Can they get home, please? For the love of God, can they get home? I will say this, one more concern, and then piggyback on whatever you want after this. The Chiefs' defense was one of the worst in the NFL, giving up touchdowns in the red zone. They were like the second worst in the NFL, or the worst. I'm talking about once they get in the red zone, the percentage of times they actually gave up a touchdown, it was very high. I hope that goes down, and I hope that starts tomorrow, because that is a concern that I'm just wanting to monitor from last season. It's a different team, so it's not apples to apples, but those are my thoughts on Chiefs D, Lions O. If you have any other thoughts, let me know, and then we'll switch to the other side.
I don't want to totally discredit the D line, like you said. You listed a lot of really great guys. I've actually one of my hot takes is that I think Karlaftis will have over 10 sacks this season. I'm sticking to that. I know, right? Wouldn't that be something? I do understand that Chris Jones took a lot of double teams. That without him out there, it's going to be maybe a little more difficult for them to get home. But I still feel really strongly about what Joe Cullen brings, what Spags brings. I think Joe Cullen's worked a lot with this D-line to see them improve. And I think what's also interesting about Joe Cullen is that this is his second year with them. So some of these guys have had a year to work with him. He always seems to get the most out of his players. So I think knowing that they don't have Chris Jones, knowing that they're going to have to scheme a little bit differently, some other guys are going to have to pick up some of that slack. I think we're going to see some different things, but I'm really optimistic.
Yeah, love it. Let's switch other side. I mean, we like talking Chiefs offense. Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, this is not a surprise. Chiefs number one offense in points per game, in total yards. I think Mahomes set an NFL record for total yards last season. If you combine everything, he had like over 5,400. Absolutely insane. First overall in touchdowns, 61 total touchdowns. Good God. Here's a little snippet that gets overlooked. Andy Reid and company, 21-4 versus NFC opponents since 2018. So if we don't think they're coming out ready to go all the way off, we are mistaken. I will say this about the Chiefs offense, a little nervous about how late in the week that Travis Kelce got injured. So there was time. It's not like he got injured today. They do have some time to plan. I do think Travis Kelce was a big part of that plan. But if anybody can get it done, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid bringing the best out of their guys, utilizing their strengths and their skill sets to get the freaking W. What are your thoughts so far, Chiefs offense?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I've got all the faith in the world. Like, I trust Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes with my life. So I think it's easy to trust them. I think the Travis Kelce news breaking so late in the week, it is a concern. It's going to be interesting to see what they do in the red zone, what kind of packages they draw up. Are they going to use Clyde a little bit more? I mean, he's someone that they used before he got hurt last year, that they used quite a bit in the red zone. Is that something that they do? Do they bring in a little bit more tight end play? Are we going to see more from Noah Gray? I think we're all pretty high on Noah Gray, and we're ready for him to take that next step, but he's behind that huge shadow that we call Travis Kelce, which I don't think there's anything wrong with. We love Kelce, but maybe this is an opportunity for him to kind of get a little bit more reps and kind of see what he has to bring. And then of course we've got Pacheco. I mean, I'm excited to see what Pacheco does. I know he's coming off injury over this last season, but he has no quit. That guy's just always fighting. No one's ever run harder, in my opinion, than Isaiah Pacheco. He runs like he's mad at the world. I think he understands the task at hand, and I think that he's someone to keep an eye on. I think it's going to be good. I think you're going to see him mix it up a lot. And I think too, like, I know Travis Kelce was late with the injury and it kind of happened late in the week, so we have to adjust. But I think the Lions have to adjust too. They're going to kind of go in and be like, well, we kind of know they were going to go to Kelce, but now without Kelce, what's their game plan going to be? What's this going to look like? So it does kind of put their backs against the wall to think about how we're going to play this and what we're going to do to pivot around this Kelce injury. But I'm stoked. I think we're going to see a shootout. I think we're going to see a high-scoring game that ultimately the Chiefs are victorious of. Isn't it true that Jared Goff and Patrick Mahomes have beat everybody else in the league, but are all 31 teams? Is that the stat? Is it?
I'm not sure. I think Mahomes has almost beat everybody, if not every team. I don't actually know that stat off the top of my head. If you find it, let me know. I have a couple thoughts. The Lions defense, they made some good moves this year, but they struggled last year. 29th overall last year, according to PFF. They allowed the most yards per game and were ranked 28th in points allowed. So when you look at the Chiefs, number one offense, everybody's going nuts over there. And then the Lions defense last year, it's like, oh, well, that's not good. However, they made some good additions, and their D-line is no slouch. They had 2 rookies last year, I believe. Both of them led the entire rookie class in sacks. Number 1 was Aiden Hutchinson, led with 9.5, and he had 3 interceptions. And then James Houston, I believe, had 8 sacks in 7 games, and he was the second overall in sacks for any rookie, I believe. Don't quote me on him, but I know for sure Aiden Hutchinson led. Now, I think a big storyline for me is going to be, how does the Chiefs O-line hold up? Well, I'm not really afraid, but I just want to see it. I want to see the 2 new tackles. I want to see Donovan Smith and Jawan Taylor, and I want to see how they hold up and how they function as a unit and how quickly they can make adjustments depending on what the Lions throw at them. So that's definitely a storyline for me. I want to see the tackles. Because here's my thing. I've been saying this. If they just keep investing in the O-line for Patrick Mahomes and allow him time year after year to sit back in the pocket, roast marshmallows, and go through each read a couple times. I mean, even just go through each read without having to have pressure. You know, the tackles last year, most combined pressures allowed in the entire NFL of any tackle duo. So if Mahomes can have time, I have confidence that he's going to find a way to get it done. Now, some of their additions, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, that's a familiar name. He was with the Eagles. He can't wait to play the Chiefs. I am also excited he gets to watch the banner get lifted at Arrowhead. That's very fitting. I like that. Cornerback Cam Sutton, they added him. And then they drafted linebacker Jack Campbell in the first round. Some good additions there. So I think the defense, I'm not an expert on the Lions, so don't get me wrong here, but I think their defense took a step up from last year. Is it going to be enough? I want to give you a couple more stats, Kylie, on week 1, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and would love to get your thoughts. Week 1, Patrick Mahomes and company. Let's go Andy Reid first. Andy Reid, week 1 as a head coach of the Chiefs. He's 9-1. Okay? We already know he's 21-4 against NFC teams since 2018, but he's also 9-1 week 1. It gets even crazier once Patrick Mahomes takes over. Patrick Mahomes is 5-0. Listen to how many touchdowns he's thrown each game as a starter. 2018, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. 2019, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 2020, 3-0. 2021, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. 2022, 5-0 interceptions. Now listen to his average stats. If you take all of his yards, touchdowns, interceptions, he averages 308.4 yards, 3.6 TDs, 0 interceptions, and 37.8 points per game. 37.8? This is insane. And you're going against a defense who I think has taken steps up. I understand they don't have Travis Kelce. I do not care. They have Patrick Mahomes, the best player in the league, and it's not close. It's Patrick Mahomes on one leg, Patrick Mahomes left-handed, Joe Burrow, and then enter whoever else you want to. Patrick Mahomes is locked in. I'm ranting here, but Matt Nagy said he saw a shift in Mahomes a week ago. When preseason ended, regular season started, he said he's locked in and his freaking game over. With all that being said, I am going to go with the Chiefs winning 31-28. Would love to be wrong, and they win by way more. But I'm just going 3 points right now, just with the unknowns of how they're going to perform without a Minihue, without Chris Jones and Travis Kelce. I do think they get the freaking thing done, and we get the W tomorrow. I'm very hopeful for that. It's no disrespect to the Lions, but you're coming into Arrowhead, and the Lions, they're quite possibly about to get caged. I mean, I don't know what else to say. They're not going to play games.
Well, first of all, we're not worthy, right? Like that, you listing all of those stats, it's just like one of those moments where I cannot believe Patrick Mahomes is the Chiefs quarterback after 50 years of misery. Like, we're not worthy. Secondly, This is like the ultimate buy for Andy Reid. Like we've had 7 months to prep and get ready. Well, I guess they knew who they were playing in May. So 4 or 5 months to prep and get ready for this. And Andy Reid off a bye, it's dangerous. That is dangerous. And I think we all got to look on quarterback, just how much of a studier Patrick Mahomes is and how much he is really invested in every single play and really knowing the defense. And I know that that's true of every quarterback, but it just seems to be a different level of focus for him. I think that I think you said 37.5. I think the Chiefs win 38-31. So I'm going to give them a little bit more points. Again, I do think it'll be a little bit more of a shootout, just with the absence of Chris Jones. 38-31. Chiefs are going to win. They will, to use Cole's terms, cage those Lions, which I thought was really good too. Was it a pun? Did you mean to do that? Was it a pun that you meant to do that?
I mean, I didn't plan it, but when I start going on rants, stuff just starts flowing. So it just is what it is. So we both got them coming out the dub. Again, I don't think it's going to be an easy fight. I don't think it's going to be the Cardinals. At least right now, my gut instinct, I don't think it's week 1 Cardinals, Chiefs hang almost 50 and it's a complete blowout. I mean, would I love it? Sure. I would think the Lions put up a little better of a fight than that. I know they got some players suspended, a good receiver over there in Williams, but I think they're still a threat. You got to take them pretty serious. But dude, I'm feeling good in spite of the players that are missing, which at the same time has me, got me, my jaw is clenching a little bit, but we're going to get it done.
Let me ask, who do you think is going to score the first touchdown for the Chiefs?
I saw somebody ask that. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is going to run it in, baby.
Just get the season started off right. He's like, I'll just do it.
Everyone's going to be covering. Mahomes is going to see a lane. He gone.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is going to be such...
I sound super confident in that. I literally have no idea. Could be McKinnon. Could be Noah Gray. Who do you think, though? I'm going to go right now. I'm just going to say Mahomes is going to run it in. But what do you think?
This is going to be probably an unpopular take, but I'm going to say, I want to preface this too. I'm just going to say it's going to be Clyde. And I want to preface this by saying I'm not...
Boo! I'm just kidding.
I know. Gosh, I know. I'm not someone who's a big, huge supporter of Clyde. He's had his ups and downs, but because they do need to change up their red zone packages and maybe shift a little bit on the goal line, I think we could see Clyde go out early on. He did the first 4 or 5 weeks last year before he got hurt, they used him quite a bit down there. So I'm going to go with Clyde.
No, I think, I don't know that Chiefs fans are going to be happy about it, but I think Clyde's going to get quite a bit of reps. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, guys. It's a long season. You want Pacheco to be healthy. I think Clyde's going to get some reps. Wouldn't be surprised if he was the one to score. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a running back. Somebody said Justin Ross. Yeah, I mean, no Fortson. He's out on IR. Justin Ross, same height, about 15-ish pounds lighter, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure. But he's going to be that one of those red zone guys that they will quite possibly create one-on-one matchups with, like you saw in the preseason finale. Talking about Justin Ross, so I am excited to see that. Hopefully.
If Justin Ross scores the first touchdown of the season, I think Twitter will be on fire. Like, I think it will actually burn down.
I'm going to rip this camera off during the stream and eat it.
Could you imagine?
If that happens.
People would go crazy. I would go crazy. Yeah, it would be nuts. But, I mean, it could happen. It could happen.
I hope you guys know I was trolling heavy when I just started booing when she said CEH. It's so funny, man. Like, I understand he can't stay healthy, but the way that some fans act about CEH and Justin Watson, it cracks me up, dude. Definitely
the Justin Watson hate is so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wide receiver 1 or anything crazy like that, but he's a trusted target of Mahomes. He did struggle with drops in December. I talked about it in a video. He did struggle, but he's come up clutch. We're not talking anything crazy. He had 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, but had a lot of routes run during injuries. He's somebody that can step in and kind of play everywhere. So, yeah, I am intrigued to see who scores the first touchdown. I feel like Mahomes is just going to have excellence coursing through his veins, and he's just going to just take it in. I mean, I hope he passes it. I'd rather see him never run because I'm terrified every time he does. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I will say this. This is a new show. I've had some people saying, hey, I left the dono. Have you guys seen it? Typically in my Q&As, I answer like right away. I have been stacking up the donos, super chats and all that. And we're going to answer them here within the next minute or two. And that's what we'll kind of do for the last like 5-10 minutes of the show. But definitely want to let you guys know that I'm seeing those. Did you have anything else to add, Kylie, about this game tomorrow? Here's a question. What are you eating? Because I know what you're eating because you said it on Twitter. But what are you eating?
You guys, okay. I'm so excited. So like I love tacos and nachos. Like I could eat chips and salsa, chips and queso every single day. So of course, when you give me a game on a Thursday night, I'm going to go all out. So I've got some friends coming over. We're doing a full nacho bar. So I've got, we call it Chief's queso. So we've got that going on. I'm going to make some pico, got some guac. We're going to have all the toppings, like the toppings you want on your tacos, name it, it's going to be there. So I'm really excited. Oh, and then of course there will be tequila. I know I'm not advertising tequila, but there will be margaritas. So very excited.
Margaritas.
Very excited. What are you doing? I know you're going to be
crazy. There's a freaking crazy is it the margarita song that's going viral on TikTok? I'm not even going to talk about the details of it. One margarita. Yeah, it's so bad. Anyway, when you said that, I thought of that. Yeah, it's just like a viral trend. It's so stupid. But that sounds fire. What am I going to eat? I'm going to eat a couple of Boulevard Tank 7s.
That's all you need.
Well, here's the thing. On game days, since I go live during the games, like I'm kind of nervous, especially for like regular season games. I don't eat a lot before. I'll eat a little bit, and then I'll sip on a couple Tank 7s during the game, and I'll eat more after. So game days for me are different since I work them. I used to love to eat all the food and do that stuff. And now we call the game, which is super fun. I'm excited about it. We've got a brand new scoreboard with yard marker. We got graphics for sacks, interceptions, safeties, extra points, field goals, Mahomes magic plays, touchdowns. Like, I'm super excited about it. Got a guy here helping run the scoreboard. We did some tests during preseason. But with that being said, I don't even know what's being made. I'm going to drink some Tank 7 and call the game. We'll see what I eat, but I'm not sure.
Well, if I might suggest nachos or tacos, it's a crowd pleaser.
Hey, I never turn down barbecue, burgers, Mexican. Like, those are all like pizza. Those are all up there for me.
I will say it would probably be barbecue if I was in Kansas City.
Heck yeah.
But and I don't want to hate on Springfield barbecue, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same.
We got some super chats I want to look at on the last few minutes. Smooth with the 20. Cole. Who's a lovely lady. She looks nice. And then he followed up with a 50 bomb. So freaking A. Shout out to Smooth with a 50. He said he was a year too late. Darn it. She go to Chiefs games. You do go to Chiefs games. Do you go to a game every year?
We try to go to 2 or so every year. Yeah.
Smooth. So, thanks so much for the 50 bomb and the 20, man. Super generous, bro.
I loved what he said about Kimba Walker. Yeah, I loved what he said about Kimba Walker. He was a dog. He was a dog at UConn. Such a fun guy to watch play, and obviously named my dog after him. So
yeah, I know about as much about basketball as freaking what's his name knows about football, even though he played in the NFL. The old linebacker, Will Compton.
No.
So I don't know anything basically about basketball, but I love that. Sean Peterson with the 10. Curious if you read about Zach Ertz's hyperextended knee. I have seen this. His initial MRI was clean and showed swelling a few days later after swelling went down. So I don't want him playing. I will say this. I don't know if you heard about that, Kylie, but the doctor that I follow, Dr. Jesse of the Fantasy Doctors, he had an interesting post this morning, and I think I shared it, so I want to see it real quick here. See if I can find it quickly. Okay, something important Okay, I'll just share the screen. He said something important needs to be mentioned about Travis Kelce's knee injury. Since this was an acute sprain and the MRI was completed shortly afterwards, there's a chance the amount of swelling can lead to an unclear diagnosis. Yes, partial tears of the ACL, PCL, and meniscus can be missed. Even the best MRIs have flaws. So I wouldn't be surprised if they got another MRI or even drained his knee, then got another one. Reminds me of the Zach Ertz situation. Not super worried about it, but I did feel it important to mention this. I wouldn't freak out about this, guys, but they will let the swelling go down and probably scan it again. But still, I am hoping for the best. I am hoping that there is very little issues. As far as like I'm just saying this. Hopefully, all he has to do is rest Thursday. They got the mini bye week, maybe one more game, and then he's back week 3 at the latest. But at the same time, it's a long season, man, and we got to take care of Travis Kelce. Not getting any younger, so he heals a little bit slower. If he was 23, might be a little bit different. But you got to really you got to take good care of him. So I have faith in the Chiefs training staff, their medical team, and that they'll get him right. But it is worth bringing up, Sean. Thanks for noting that. Kylie, if you want to weigh in, you can. If not, we can go right to the next.
No, I don't have much else to say. I just want him to take it easy on him. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, unless you're a wide receiver running a route. You better go fast.
Exactly.
I don't know. Bad joke, but it is. It is what it is. We got Thunder with the 5. I think we already shouted this out, but I wanted to say thanks for the 5. He was talking about Bosa's deal. We talked about that. And then K. Wright, Cole, you going to a game this year? Yeah. If my health can hold up, I will. I have things going on. I have a couple bulging discs, man. So even when I call games, I'm sitting and standing every 30 minutes. I'm in pain. So I don't talk about it a lot, like using it as an excuse. I still work and put out content, but it makes for a very long day when you got to go to Arrowhead hours before a game, and then there's nowhere comfortable to really be or sit or anything like that. So it makes for a really long day, and I'm trying to get better because I want to go. I try to go to one a year, but I didn't go last year because of this issue. The last game I went to is why I need to go again and see a W, because the last game I went to was AFC Championship game when the Chiefs folded in the second half against the Bengals at Arrowhead. That's the last
definitely
game I've been to.
Definitely got to get back. Yeah.
The game before that, here's the thing. Everybody on the channel knows. Cole, you're not allowed to go to a postseason game because the last 3 I've been to, they've lost. But the last regular season game I went to was the game that I almost said the Royals because I was just at the Royals game. The game that the Raiders stomped on the Chiefs logo, and then the Chiefs beat the brakes off them like 44 to like 17 or whatever it was. So that was a good game.
That's a fun game. Yeah. That was a fun game. A lot of scoring for us.
Oh, it was freaking fantastic, man. Let's do a community poll, and let's vote on. Let's see what's the final score gonna be, and we'll give 4 options. Smooth with the 20 bomb said, "Love you, Cole. Much love, bro. Thanks again for all the support." I mean it, man. You've been extremely generous, and I appreciate it, and I hope you know that. Okay, so we're all probably going to say Chiefs are getting the W, so we'll just say, what are we thinking? We'll give 4 options. So I guess the last option we could say Chiefs lose. Well, but the first options we'll say Chiefs get dubs. We'll give people an option because there might be Lions fans in here and even some Chiefs fans. I've seen them saying, "Hey, no Kelce, no Chris Jones, it's over." Mm-hmm. So,
you're right.
I mean, I promise you, 2 minutes into the first quarter, we're going to have people in chat saying to fire Spags. I promise you. And, yep, it's just going to happen. So.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
It was 48-9 when the Chiefs beat the Raiders. Okay, it was a great freaking game. All right, so the Chiefs win. Let's just say the Chiefs score 40 plus is 1, and they get the W. Chiefs score 30 plus. What were you going to say? You say something?
You said 40. I was going to say 38 because you said that his average was 37.8, I think. Mm-hmm. So I was going to say anything just above that. But 40 is good, and then 30. And then I can't see just over 20, but if that's the last one.
Yeah, we're
or
gonna
is it like a
go.
nail biter?
That's what I'm saying. Like, could it be a lower scoring game for the Chiefs? I'm just curious what people think that the Chiefs are going to score, and then I don't think they're going to
Under
lose. But
20.
Del Monte Green Beans with the 2 bumps that dang shouty cold. Appreciate the kind words, man. Yeah, Kylie's awesome, bro. She's been on here. She's from Kingdom Cast. You're still doing stuff with them, yeah? And when
I'll
Mondays?
do stuff with them Thursdays, but not
Oh,
tomorrow.
Thursdays,
There's a game.
because there's a
Yeah.
game. Yeah, Smooth, thanks again for the 20. Del Monte, thanks for the 2. We got a bunch of scores in here. 28-7. Lions 43, KC 14. Lions 1 has definitely been smoking on a pipe tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Lions 34, KC 24. See, that's more realistic. Like, what did that guy say? Lions 43, Chiefs 14? That's not
Absolutely
happening,
not.
dog.
There's no way Patrick Mahomes allows them to score 14 points.
You're living in the land of imagination. Dude, I wish the rainbow I wish it worked. That would have been so cool. 34-14, 25-8. Lions 24, KC 21. That's a low scoring game. Hey, maybe the defenses just step up. A Lions fan in here said 43, 14. I saw that Smooth. Yeah. Hey, man, here's the thing. We got Lions fans in here. Welcome them. I have literally no problem with the Lions. I think Goff is a great QB. Remember the last time they went head-to-head, man? It's not same team. It's completely different. But Chiefs-Rams, 2018, 51-54. Third highest scoring game in NFL history. The first NFL game, I believe, where both teams scored over 50 points. Absolutely freaking crazy. So shout outs to them, Dan Campbell, and their whole, I think they're really turning the organization around. The Lions fans remind me of us before Patrick Mahomes. They haven't won a playoff game since I've been born. I'm 32. Or maybe they won when I was a baby. But like, it's been a really long time. The team's starting to turn around for them. They're hungry. They want to see their team succeed. And since they're an NFC team, I don't really care. Like, if they do well this season, great. But not tomorrow. Not tomorrow. And if they want to do great the rest of the year and we see them in the Super Bowl, let's freaking run it, dude. So with all that being said, like, respect to the Lions. Respect to the Lions. So when I'm trolling on Lions fans, it's because if you're going to be completely unrealistic with your score predictions, like, you might as well put your head in the sand and watch Garfield tomorrow night, because you'll get more value out of that.
Dang. Yeah. I really like Dan Campbell. No disrespect to the Lions, but tomorrow on the field is a different, for 3-4 hours tomorrow, not a fan.
Jack said Vegas bookmakers have implied score at Chiefs 29, Lions 22, FYI. So I had 31-28. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's just say this. Real football is tomorrow, and I'm freaking stoked for it. Kylie, this was our first show of many on Wednesday nights. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. This was like kind of a trial run, a soft launch. I didn't even really announce it. I announced it in a couple live streams. We didn't announce it on Twitter, nothing, but we have 700 people in here right now. So I really appreciate it. If you're just tuning in, make sure to go back to the beginning. We started about 8:05, so this is an hour show that we're doing every Wednesday night. We're talking high-level Chiefs news, talking about the last game, big picture stuff, and then previewing the next. Sean with the 10 bomb before we get out of here. Kylie, thanks for the retweet earlier. I need to catch Kingdom Cast. Enjoy DMAC as well. HBTC for life. Yeah, Sean Peterson is giving away. He's doing a Twitter giveaway for a signed Creed Humphrey jersey. And Kylie, just so you know, we just gave away our Justin Ross jersey. We gave it away. We selected a winner. I'll put it in the chat, but I bought it today. For the winner.
How exciting.
I know. Just so you guys know, we're going to be giving away stuff maybe once a month on this show. So just so you know, we will be doing a giveaway once a month, more than likely, on this show, of something signed or some form of Chiefs merch. And I'm excited about that too. You alive? Hello? Kylie? Where did she go?
Oh no.
Anyway, guys, I think she might have lost us right at the end, but it's over anyway. I was just going to have her sign off. So,
Bye.
oh, could you hear after all?
Yeah, I can hear. I don't know what happened, but I'm here.
Okay, cool. I was like waiting. I actually embraced the silence for a second, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk. And then you didn't talk again. I was like, I don't know what happened. But appreciate you being here, Kylie. Thanks again. And
Thanks for having
appreciate
me.
the community for coming out, man. Appreciate y'all's support. And we'll be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we're gonna stream this game and we're gonna call it. I'm gonna try to stay calm. And until next time, y'all, let's go. Let's freaking go.
How about those Chiefs?